For one, Shanquella lost her life, and the person wanted for the murder is now wanted in Mexico for the crime, and Mexico is asking them to be extradited back. The 5 others are probably running afraid, wondering what will happen if they are indeed implicated for their involvement in this murder. And now the entire nation is waiting with bated breath for the US government to do what they need to do and handle this situation, making sure that the people involved in this heinous crime are apprehended and taken back to Mexico to pay for taking this precious young girl's life in such a horrific way.
A friend of Shanquella Robinson's who traveled to Cabo San Lucas last month with her and other people is being sought for arrest by Mexican authorities. It also appears that the FBI is currently involved heavily. Yes, it has finally come to pass. Justice for Shanquella Robinson's family is drawing closer. An arrest warrant was issued on November 24th for a friend of the 25-year-old lady who traveled to Cabo San Lucas with her and other people last month. Robinson was discovered dead in the living room of a vacation rental home she shared with 6 Winston-Salem State University friends less than 24 hours after arriving in the Mexican city. And because there's a lot of mystery surrounding her death, the FBI is working day and night to deliver justice to her family and the deceased herself, which has surely been long overdue. Let's see the details of it all. Additionally, according to the prosecution, one of the victim's female friends participated in a direct attack, not an accident that led to Robinson's death. Although she hasn't been identified, the suspect is a known U.S. citizen who is reportedly in the country. The names of Robinson's friends have not been made public yet, even though no one has been charged in the case. Daniel de la Rosa, the Attorney General for Mexico's Baja California Sur, reportedly informed reporters on November 23rd that the suspect's extradition was in progress and that they will soon reveal the identity as well. That being said, Bernard and Salamandra Robinson last saw their daughter on October 28th, the day she and a few of her friends went for a vacation in Cabo, Mexico, according to a report from the local television station WBTV. Fast forward to over a month later, and the parents are still unaware of the true circumstances behind the death of their 25-year-old daughter. The Robinsons claimed WBTV that after getting in touch with the parents the next set after they landed in Cabo, Shanquella's friends informed them that she had passed away from alcohol poisoning. But then after calling the FBI and the Mexican authorities, they discovered through the autopsy report that the circumstances of her death were different from what her friends had told them. According to Shanquella's mother, on Saturday evening, they called and said she wasn't feeling well and they were going to call a doctor. And when they called, the doctor hadn't arrived yet, but they said she had alcohol poisoning. After they said it was alcohol poisoning, we received the autopsy report on Thursday and it said that her neck had been broken and she had a back spasm, there was a crack, and the spinal cord was cracked. That took it to a whole nother level because that meant somebody had attacked her. And now, the situation involves national agencies because Shanquella passed away in Mexico, which is of course international waters. Robinson was allegedly slain, but the U.S. State Department in Mexico denied this in a statement to another news station, Queen City News, and added that authorities had found no conclusive proof of criminal play. Since then, Shanquella's friends have come back to Charlotte. The Robinsons recently picked up their daughter's body on Thursday after her friends left it behind in Cabo. According to more recent sources, the FBI Charlotte field office is starting an inquiry into Shanquella's passing. And of course, social media has also seen a rise in conspiracy theories as well as reports of Shanquella's death. With a video purportedly showing her getting beaten up while being recorded by someone else, some users suspect that one of her pals was the one who killed her. The video was initially shared by a North Carolina site, according to a Rolling Stone investigation, and it named numerous people they claimed were on the Cabo trip with Shanquella at the time of her murder. The report further goes on to say how the blog located a man named Namer Wiggins who was in the gang. Although Wiggins acknowledged his participation in the trip to Cabo, he refuted the assertion made by the website that he was to blame for Shanquella's passing. According to Wiggins' Instagram story post at night, the group had requested medical attention before they arrived in Cabo. The North Carolina blogger was identified as Gerald Jackson in a separate post by the Daily Beast. Jackson claimed to have obtained the footage from someone who was in the room who forwarded it to an individual family member they are close with. Similarly, Shanquella's father also came forward and confirmed that the woman being assaulted in the video is indeed her daughter. But wait till you hear what's next. Other users have drawn comparisons between the incident relating to Shanquella's death and Kenneka Jenkins' enigmatic death, who was discovered dead inside a locked freezer at the Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in September 2017. Jenkins' passing, just like Shanquella's death, was shrouded in mystery as well. Jenkins' mother, Teresa Martin, was informed by authorities that her daughter had reportedly let herself into the freezer while intoxicated and died within when the story first made headlines. Martin, however, had doubts about this and the narratives Jenkins' friends who were also at the party gave, complaining that their versions changed over and over. And while all of this is taking place, Black social media users are being thanked for their assistance in bringing attention to the death of Shanquella Robinson. Robinson's mother, Salamandra, thanked Black folks on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for seeking justice for Robinson's killing in Mexico, according to a story by NBC News. And why wouldn't they? For almost 10 years, social media has been used as a tool for social justice and amplification. People of color are aware of how frequently the mainstream media utterly disregards their stories. They have so started amplifying their own narrative by utilizing these technologies. And you see, it also works. We observe this cycle where the mainstream news media essentially repeats what Black social media users are saying. But then again, authorities in Mexico are formally looking into Shanquella Robinson's death as femicide, a type of gender-based violence that is recognized as a hate crime internationally. Robinson's death was reported to local media by Mexico's Baja California Sur's Attorney General, Daniel de la Rosa Anaya, who also confirmed the information. It's the most recent development in a murder investigation that has garnered interest both domestically and internationally. Further, there are few accurate statistics on such gender-based homicides in the United States because femicide is not monitored there, though some are working to change that. Whereas, femicide incidents increased by 145% in Mexico between 2015 and 2019, indicating that the practice is spreading there. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, the country's current president, is criticized for not doing enough to combat the problem. The most recent information, though, comes after reports from the previous month that the FBI opened a formal inquiry into Robinson's passing. A warrant was also issued by the state attorney general's office for another woman who is likely responsible for Robinson's demise. But only a few weeks after Robinson's death on October 29 did the Mexican and American authorities take any action, which is why Shanquella's mother expresses her distrust in the FBI and the so-called efforts they are making in catching the culprits of her daughter's death. And where the FBI is making hidden moves and the Robinson family awaits justice patiently, the Twitterati's are also expressing their take on the entire situation. Let's take a look at what the users have to say about the incident. One of the many angry netizens stated, "Reminder that the murderers of Shanquella Robinson are enjoying the holidays with their family while her family is still waiting for justice. Don't let justice for her murder die. Keep talking and demanding all 6 friends be held accountable." Whereas another one expressed, "The case of Shanquella Robinson makes me so sick. An innocent woman who was set up and brutalized by her psychopathic friends. You really cannot trust people. Hoping justice comes soon. Please spread awareness as this case needs to be more publicized." While one user tweeted, "I don't want us entering 2023 forgetting #Shanquella Robinson. Most of her murderers, people who watched her being murdered, are still walking free today. We can't forget this angel and must continue to spread all of the awareness we can so Shanquella's loved ones receive justice." Honestly, a lot of confusion surrounds the Robinson death narrative. According to Queen City News, Robinson traveled to the resort city on October 28th with 6 companions to celebrate a birthday. The following day, Shanquella's friends called Salamandra Robinson to inform her that she had passed away unexpectedly, according to Salamandra Robinson. Whatever the case might be, we just hope that the family and the deceased soon find justice delivered to them. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.